Alright, fellas, so over on the NA side of things, there is a Tsukihime release celebration campaign, and this got some of my gears turning in my head because they are going to be releasing this over on, I believe it's Steam, for all of us, English viewers over here to be able to read this, and I myself am very excited about that. But this got me thinking. See, last anniversary on the JP side of things, they said that they were releasing Ace the Savior because they were waiting for her to come out over on the global side of things so we could read Lostbelt 6, and we didn't get spoiled with, major information. And I'm thinking, all right, the Tsukihime remake already came out in JP. Maybe before doing a major Tsukihime collab with FGO, they were waiting for it to come out over here on the NA side of things. And so I'm thinking, and this is just kind of my five-head theory, but we might see a Tsukihime collab in the near future on the NA side of things. Now, again, I know I've had some very harebrained theories in the past, but I think this one has some precedent. I mean, again, think about how, the last anniversary went for Japan. They were waiting for us to get access to that material, and this is going to be ending, right before the anniversary is going to be dropping, maybe a week or two before. And so if they've been cooking this up, I definitely think we could see maybe like a Shiki or an Arcueid releasing, something along those lines. And I kind of have some speculation in this video. So, strap in, get comfortable. I'm going to give you guys my five-head take for this one. So, first and foremost, I think the one that probably has the most precedent to come out would be Arcueid right here, because we do know that she kind of exists as somewhat of a servant in the Fate Extraverse, where basically she has a master who I think is kind of just an audience insert because he's just like us for real. He thinks that Arcueid over here is like the greatest thing of all time and is like the strongest servant ever, right? So I think if we go with that basis, then she's probably going to be a berserker, because what else class would she be? I mean, like, what are you going to make her, like an alter ego, a foreigner, nothing, a saber? Like, none of that makes sense, all right? It's the only class that I think could realistically make sense. I mean, I guess you could try to make her a moon cancer because, type moon and all that stuff, red moon, all that good stuff, maybe you could do that, but maybe that makes sense. But I think if we go with the Fate Extra thing and make her a Berserker, that'd be crazy, right? Because if you think about, future Berserkers that are going to come out and future Berserkers that have come out recently, they've all been pretty banger, right? You got people like Morgan, you got people like Summary Buki, who's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks, really banger AoE servants if we want to do that. And I mean, could you imagine they roll out the anniversary live stream? We're out here expecting, I don't know what, like Rasputin or something. Maybe they're going to release Koyanskaya 3, Artoria 72, whoever, right? We're expecting that, and then bam, they drop, knowing that they're going to be releasing Ruler Scotty, who is going to kind of revolutionize quick. They drop an Arcueid over here, who is going to be a 100% battery, AoE, quick unit, and then you also, to give her future synergy with better supports in Yui Shosetsu, you give her like an Omni card buff, right? I think that is already the makings of like a really strong servant. And then outside of that, you could just throw some random effects on there and it who cares? Like the 100% battery and like just the decent NP, I think would be enough to carry it. But I have another interesting theory on this one, and this one kind of has to get into some trivia about Lostbelt 6. See, I just finished reading Lostbelt 6 recently, literally maybe a couple of hours ago, and I like to go through the trivia and see like what some of the notes were that, the writers were going through as they were making it. And one of the things that I found out was that apparently for the barrel fight, where he turns into the Black Wolf version of Woodwose, right? Apparently for that, they wanted him to use a reality marble that was kind of based around Red Riding Hood, because Red Riding Hood, I believe, because that's the whole reason where he's like, oh, like the big bad wolf is going to come for MASH, and, he's going over that whole reciting of that, like, kind of bit over there. But they weren't able to program it in. And so what I'm getting at is that they weren't able to program that in for the barrel fight, but maybe they could give that to Arcolino over here, give that to her, because they've had a year to get that in. Sure, like Lostbelt 6 released like what, a year, 2 years ago, whatever, man, right? They've had time to kind of fix that. They could give us some kind of, maybe like a field effect is what they would want to call it, a reality marble style effect. I think something along those lines could be really, really sick, especially for a anniversary unit, because, I mean, think about it. We already have people that can, swap their NP types, in, say, someone like Space Ishtar, who can go from like Buster to Quick to Arts, we have that. And then we know you can change your targeting with, Melusine can go from a single target to an AoE and also swap her types. Or Summer Bargus, who's going to come out next year, she's able to go from like an AoE arts unit to like a single target arts unit. And so why not just give her something unique, right? You know, give this character that's, you know, one of the, I would say like the maidens of Type Moon, right? Because I don't know if she's one of the main characters, because I haven't, you know, read Tsukihime because it's not out yet. What do you think I'm going to do? Pirate it and read it illegally? Not me, Buster. I don't do that. So I don't know. As far as I can tell, you know, she's an important character. One of the pillar maidens of Type Moon alongside, you know, Saber and Shiki over there. And so I think you go ahead and you drop her. Plus, I mean, we can all agree, who's not going to summon for this servant, right? Like, there's going to be a banger, right? And then the thing that I think I'd be looking forward to, and I think it's great, is that you could finally start putting them in stories, right? We could see how some of this other Type Moon lore interacts with, you know, things like from like the servants and all that good stuff, and see how that all goes, you know, down. Which, because surely you're not going to, you know, make one of your main characters from like one of your main works just kind of appear as kind of like a cash grab servant, and then you're never going to put them in an event, or, you know, basically not put them in any story chapter. That would be ridiculous, right? Can you imagine if they did that for Artoria? Can you imagine if Saber, one of the faces of Type Moon, never appeared in like an official story chapter, or really in any event in like any official capacity? That would be ridiculous, right? Like, that would be absolutely absurd, which is why they haven't done it. So this is my harebrained theory. You know, I hope you guys can kind of understand. You know, don't dislike bomb the video too much. I know that it's kind of a harebrained theory, and some people might have felt like they got baited, like, ZTL, I was really expecting us to get, you know, Arc Shyamala and Ding Dong over here with a new name of maybe like Archetype Earth or something along those lines, or maybe she would be a servant Type Moon for all we know. But look, I'm sorry, I just wanted to throw this theory out there, right? You know, I felt like all the pieces were kind of coming together, especially after I found out that interesting bit of lore after I was, you know, reading through Lostbelt 6 and finding out that, you know, neat thing that they couldn't program in there for, you know, the barrel fight. I was like, dude, this just makes too much sense. This is too much of a concrete theory that I got to get this out there to the masses. So, you know, if you guys could just let me know what you think in the comments down below. Maybe I'm too much of a crazy person, or, you know, maybe you have like some ideas for like what they could do with Shiki over here. I don't really have thoughts for them, really. For some reason, I just really couldn't think of anything for like how their kits would work. But for, you know, Type Moon over here, I was really having a like just confident idea of what they could do. Just, you know, going off the trends of what some of the other, you know, main maidens of Type Moon are looking like, and, you know, seeing how the other collaboration units have come out, you know, like your Ioris, your Ushigozens, you know, your original Shikis. You know, I was able to kind of like look at their kits, and I was like, okay, so the trend is we give them like 100% battery Omni card buff, you know, the works, you know. So I was able to figure that one out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you guys would like more big brain theories like this, you can just also let me know that. I think, you know, I've got a pretty good idea of what we might be getting, you know, in the next couple of years. I might just have that Clairvoyance EX Plus. But look, I can only give you guys that if you absolutely request it in the comments. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, someone does have to give me props for getting through that and not capping the whole time.